Hey everyone, this is Cosmo. I decided to make this series of videos sort of showcasing different glitches in Ocarina of Time. I decided to start off pretty simple, so we're going to start with the Ocarina items glitch. It lets you play items as if they're an ocarina. So you can play Deku Sticks, Boomerang, Bomb Shoes, Bombs, Hookshot. Basically anything you can hold in Link's hand works. So to do this you're going to need a bottle, because you need to catch something in a bottle for this glitch to work. Once you catch something in the bottle, your bottle turns blue. That's what you need. The bottle being blue in Link's hand. So pretty much you're going to want fish or bugs, because you can dump them out and then re-catch them. And the way this works is, once it's in your hand, you jump off, and in midair, before you hit the ground, you press the button for the bottled item, followed by the item you want to play like an ocarina. And once you've done that, and you hit the ground, it should work. So right here I'm playing a Deku Stick, as if it's a flute or something. That's what it kind of looks like. And this works with a whole bunch of items, as I mentioned before. You actually don't need an ocarina for this to work. You can just play things, even if you never got an ocarina. You also don't need to jump off a ledge to do this. You can do it just off of a backflip or a side hop. Although, when you do it with a backflip or a side hop, you have to be a lot faster with the button presses, because you're in the air for less time. And here I am playing a bomb. You can also play your sword. If you do this with certain items, such as the Lens of Truth, it will duplicate a bottle over where the lens used to be. This also works if you try to do it with 0 Deku Sticks left. Be careful not to overwrite items that you might need. These are the items that you can turn into bottles using Ocarina items. There are other ways of duplicating bottles, but I'll have to save that for another video. This clip shows a strange way of getting Ocarina items using a bomb. Run with the bomb, and at the exact right moment, pull out another item. Only a few items work. In this case, I used the claim check. This doesn't work on 1.0. These switches in Jabu and other places in the game, they get held down when you stand on them and they unlock a door. They're in various places in the game. And if you land on the switch and trigger a cutscene, like dumping a fish, it keeps the switch kind of pressed for a while. It's very strange. It basically gives you extra time. You'll see the switch like just go down and then back up. So you can use Ocarina items with that as well. You jump on the switch, you do Ocarina items, and the moment you stop playing, it lets you walk around, and you can open the door in time before it's too late. One place this is kind of useful is in Dodongo's Cavern. You can hit this switch with Ocarina items, and usually you have to push this block, but the block is up on a ledge, so you have to go around and push the block down, and it takes a bunch of time. But instead, you can use Ocarina items right here. And you have to move really fast, because you really don't get much time. But you can make it. Another thing you can do is try to do Ocarina items with an empty bottle. Instead of playing it like an ocarina, you'll just sort of drink it, except you're drinking nothing. It heals 5 hearts. And because you still have your fish, and you still have the other empty bottle, you can heal yourself infinitely. You have infinite health. There are many rooms in the game where you can't use an ocarina, but you can use a bottle. So you can get ocarina items in these rooms where you're not supposed to be able to play songs. And this can be used in a couple places. Using ocarina items while touching the blue warp at the end of a dungeon leads to this insane glitch called Wrong Warp. Wrong Warp is so complicated that it's outside of the scope of this video. If you obtain a warp song early, you can warp out of Zelda's courtyard without getting Zelda's lullaby, and then continue the game onward. Usually this is impossible, because even if you save the game in the courtyard, it reverts the letter back into the chicken. You can actually play the Song of Storms using Ocarina items during the castle collapse sequence at the end of the game. And this has quite an interesting effect. After it stops raining, the sky turns this bright, vivid orange color. The dark clouds disappear and the sun comes out, which is kind of interesting. At the very end of the game, in the Ganon fight, your Ocarina is disabled. However, you can still use bottled items, and that includes our friend the fish. Using Ocarina items, you can warp out of the Ganon fight back to a much more serene Hyrule. If you head back to Ganon's tower, you will get to fight Ganondorf again, as if you had never beaten him. This also lets you do the swordless Link glitch on any version of the game, even though the original method of saving and quitting was fixed. That's all for episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and expect more in the future.